Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. I'm your host, Colleen Biggs, and we are celebrating this week, as I told you guys, really this month, about hitting top 3% for global podcasts. It's like a huge feat that we've been working on, and I'm super excited about it. And of course, we bring amazing guests. And if you have any guests that you would love to see on the show or any subjects you would like us to discuss because you're really interested in hearing about something, please never hesitate to reach out at info@colleenbiggs.net. That's info@colleenbiggs.net. We would love to hear from you. And thanks to everyone who does reach out to us on a regular basis. So today we have Julie, the fabulous Julie Jones with us, or I should say the adventurous Julie Jones with us today. And we're talking about getting shit done. So parents, cover your children's ears. I promise we'll keep it a clean show, but we like to do things a little bit differently here. And you're going to see that in just a moment. But before I get to the fantastic and adventurous Julie Jones, I would like to thank our sponsor, Melissa Deely, with your guided health journey. Did you know your body speaks to you? It doesn't speak in English. It speaks in symptoms, trying to alert you to the fact that something isn't quite right, as it asks you to pay attention and do something different. The problem is we are all so busy, we don't pay attention. Instead, we consider the symptoms to be aging or seasonal allergies or genetics and keep on going with our daily lives, ignoring the early warning signs. Your guided health journey works with the entire English-speaking world to help you get to the root cause of your symptoms through having you discover your toxic load and using the power of functional medicine lab tests mailed to your home and providing you a personalized wellness protocol to guide your body back into balance and literally turn back time to have you feel amazing again. Get started today by taking the free Discover Your Toxic Load quiz and learn how your body is talking to you and asking you to do things differently. You can find that at Discover Your Toxic Load at welcome.yourguidedhealthjourney.com/your toxic load. And for those of you listening, we have it right here at your fingertips. You can click on that. And I can attest to Melissa Deely. I have done her lab tests. I have done her toxic load. And let me tell you, she is now my permanent health coach, and I feel amazing. So I can't shout out enough for her. If you're dealing with anything in your body, she is the one that can help you. Mine was a postnasal drip. Go figure. I have no idea where it came from, but it's now gone, and it's just toxicity in our bodies. Well, Julie Jones, are you ready to get this going today?
Woohoo! I am ready.
All right, girlfriend. So for all of you watching, Julie is all about the googly glasses, and she loves to have fun. So I thought we could wear these for a little bit today on the show because people are going to be looking at this video going, what the heck? And if you're listening to this podcast, I would love for you to go over to Colleen Biggs on Facebook or Colleen Biggs on YouTube. You got to check out this video because Julie's googly eyes are all screwed up, and mine maybe that has something to do with Julie. Let me tell you about Julie. She is an award-winning speaker, an international best-selling author of the book, Stop Waiting, Start Living, which I was so humbled to be able to be part of. She's an adventure and breakthrough coach, currently launching her own television series that she just filmed the first 6 episodes of in Dallas. It's called Stop Waiting, Start Living on the Zandra TV network. She is a master connector of people who is passionate about supporting high-achieving entrepreneurs and getting off the merry-go-round of feeling overworked, overwhelmed, and tired. Anyone listening to that? Do you feel overworked, overwhelmed, tired? This is your podcast today. Julie focuses on being in the moment and living life easily, effortlessly, and with more fun. And did you know she's a former police officer and SWAT member? Not to mention she's 6 foot tall, but you guys can't tell here on this show today. Julie knows that there is no promise of tomorrow and coaches individuals to face the fear and take massive, massive inspired action. So you guys can connect with Julie, and we're going to give you all of that information in a little while. But Julie, let's have some fun today, girlfriend.
I am so excited that you popped on the googly eye glasses. I mean, that just brought like a huge smile to my face. It has totally made my whole day because I can honestly say, like, I throw them on for a little bit, like during, podcasts or video casts just to surprise people. but I don't think I've ever like really done a show with my googly eye glass.
Well, here you go. So why not do it today, right? This is the
That's
fun
right.
of being able to go live. And like I said, for all of you listening on the podcast, you're missing out if you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel, or if you don't subscribe to, following me on Facebook, because we've got some fun videos out there. And you get to see all my 12 grandkids all the time anyway. So who doesn't want to see a bunch of cute kids? So Julie, I have to ask, you and I are, well, let me start it with this. Julie and I are very good friends. We're BFFs. We do a lot of things together. And the reason that I got attracted to Julie and started infusing Julie into my life was I come from the corporate world, and I would honestly say I am not a very fun person. Most people would, the hashtag of my last company I worked at was serious fun. So giving kids fun, but we're serious about how we're teaching them to learn. So they don't know they're learning because they're having so much fun. I always used to say I'm the serious of the fun, because I was like kind of like a stick in the mud a lot. And I was so serious about everything. And I just didn't think you should have fun. Right. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I was like, what? This is really boring. I want to have fun. Part of being an entrepreneur is our choice of freedom and things we get to do every day. And I started contacting Julie to go hiking and hang out and happy hours, whatever I could. Like, let's just do something together, because being in her presence brings a sense of adventure, because she does crazy crap, like crazy stuff, because she's not afraid of what other people think. She just gets out there and does it. And when people are like, oh, Julie, I want to be like you, she's like, you can be just like me. And she's got an event coming up in November that's going to show you how you can infuse fun in your life. But before we get to that, Julie, you've got to talk to us. Police officer and SWAT member, what is that about? Whatever drove you to want to be a police officer? And then did the adventure come before that, or did the adventure of who you are today come after that?
Well, I think it's kind of been interweaving in to a certain extent. Let me first like let's roll back and talk about being a police officer. So I initially was going to go into a medical or, like a lab technician kind of field, right? Like I was very strong in math and science, and I was actually looking to kind of be a phlebotomist or something along those lines, right? Can you imagine drawing blood or doing something with googly eye glasses?
No, and I was a phlebotomist for a while, and it was not something I was seeking to do. It was just a way to make money when I was just
Right.
out of high school.
Wow. See, so look at that. We have something else in common. But then I grew up, my best friend growing up in both grade school and high school, her father was a police officer. And somehow, some way, I think that had an influence on me, because when I was looking, you're cracking me up, moving your eyes around. When I went to go and declare a major for college, I decided on criminal justice. And my parents had thought that I lost my mind, because they're like, where does this come from? But I wanted to be in the FBI or Secret Service. Now, because my eyesight was so poor and I didn't know it at the time, that really prevented me from going into Secret Service. You had to have almost 20/20 vision uncorrected. And at that time in college, I was legally blind. I've been wearing contacts since I was in third grade, right?
We
So,
have that in common too.
yeah.
I was in fourth grade.
Oh my gosh, look at all the things that we're finding out today, right? Like all this stuff is just coming out.
I was legally blind too. I had Coke bottles for glasses. Yeah.
I did too, which, like led to a whole lot of bullying. And that's a whole nother episode that we could talk about. But so I decided to go and emphasize in corrections. But then I did my internship one summer in college in a sex offender unit, probation, parole. And I just knew that corrections wasn't where I wanted to be. I really wanted to be on the road. So I graduated from college, and through a series of jobs and through a series of, different paths, I became a police officer. I loved what I did. I really did. And then I became a member of the SWAT team. I was the only third female hire on that particular department.
Wow.
And
was that hard, being the only female, and there are 3 females in that department? Did you find that tough?
Yes and no. I think more so no, because, well, first of all, I never wanted to be treated differently because I was female, right? Because I really wanted to get there on my own. In fact, it took me 2 times to get on the SWAT team because the first time a guy decided to kind of give me a little boost over the 6-foot wall,
Mm.
and that disqualified me. So I worked out
You
even
can't
harder.
just walk
Yeah,
over the 6-foot
no,
wall
no,
because you're
no,
so
no. Like
tall.
it takes a lot of upper body strength, which,
It
like just
does.
because you're tall. And I
Yeah,
think sometimes when you're taller, it's even harder to
it
get
is.
over a wall, right?
It is.
And so, he disqualified me. I was mad, but I said to myself, I'm going to work out even harder and get on the SWAT
Yeah.
team. And I did. The thing that happened, like the very first day I was on the job, I was with a field training officer, and there was a pursuit of a suspect, and they told me where to drive because I'm brand new, and I'm
Mhm.
driving lights and siren to get to the area where this guy is fleeing. And my field training officer said, there he is, there he is. So like I swerved the squad car, I jumped out of the car, I tackled the guy, and we arrested him, right? And that was all it took for the guys to know that I was like serious and that I was going to be an asset on the department.
An
And there were
equal, yeah.
and there were
Yeah,
so
in
many
capability.
of my coworkers that said, you know what, we'd rather have you as our backup than some of the guys that were working on the department.
Yeah.
So it worked well. In fact, when I left the department to pursue some different things with my husband at the time, they didn't want me to leave. They're like, just take a leave of absence. Maybe you'll come back. They really didn't want to see me go. And you know what, though? It was the best decision that I ever made, because then it just led me on this
Yeah.
entrepreneurial journey where I could really, truly be the adventurous, fun self that I am, because I learned so much in law enforcement. Yet at the same token, too, it was a lot of negativity. And if you can't tell,
Yeah.
woohoo, I'm all about positivity, right? So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
it
you
just
have this
didn't hit me.
attitude really of adventure, and it really started back in, you're not afraid to try or do anything. You'll just say, "Okay, yeah, let's do it," and you'll figure it out. That's something I know about you. And that's really where your get shit done comes from, doesn't it? Because you what do you say that people put off tomorrow? What is that saying that you use all the time?
Well, I just talk about, the idea of stop waiting, start living.
Yeah.
People are putting off everything for tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Well, what if tomorrow never comes? And
Yeah.
like I actually, it's so true, okay, because this just happened. So I was with a direct sales company for about it was probably close to 10, 12 years. And the company was called Market America. It's called Market America.
Mhm.
And yesterday, the CEO passed away unexpectedly.
Oh, wow.
And, he made a huge impact, and he called it the dash. Like, and the dash
Mm,
stands for, it's like the year you were born, the year you pass. What do you do with that dash in between? How do
mhm.
you make an impact? How do you make a difference in this world, right? And he made a huge difference. I mean, sometimes some of the things that I talk about, or some of the stories that I share, they were things that he said that he inspired me while I was with that
Mm,
company, right?
yeah.
And so he has a lasting legacy through like anybody who came into contact with him. But he was still young, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody thinks that they have forever, and you don't know when that expiration date is, that it's like that's it. And so don't regret what didn't get done. Just go
Yeah.
out and say yes to life opportunities. I'm all about saying yes to life opportunities. And if you tell me no, I'm going to figure out yes all day, like how I can make it
Yeah.
happen. And it's in the moments that I've said yes unexpectedly or impromptuly that have led to some of the most amazing things that I have done, like concerts and jumping out of airplanes and, just doing things that I may not have ever done if I didn't say yes in the moment.
I want to ask the listeners, you did something as a challenge for personal development that you were in, and you had to schedule something in a day, right? And what did you do? Because share with the listeners, this just goes to show the type of adventure that you're not afraid to do, because what's the worst that can happen, right? If death isn't on the list, then we go for it, right? So what was that? I just remember you booked some tickets, and it was
Yes.
pretty quick, and you didn't even tell your
Oh my
spouse, but
gosh.
he came with you. And
Oh, I found out at 6 o'clock on a Saturday night that I was going to be taking my husband to New York for the day, right? Like that was, that was what I had committed
Now,
to.
living in Arizona, New York is quite a travel. It's
It
not
is
like
quite a
hopping up
travel.
to Colorado or 45 minutes to California or anything.
So long story short, I just like, I got home and I had told him I was so excited that, okay, we're going on this adventure, right? Well, there was obstacle number one because it was about this time of year. And, we own an air conditioning and heating company. He's like, hell no. Like, this is one of the busiest times of the year for me. Like, I just can't take off and go. What if all these calls come in?
Right.
And I said, no, we're going to do this. We're going to have a great day. So I got him to the airport at 6 a.m. We weren't even sitting together because I booked tickets at the last minute. And I, talked to the flight person right there, like at the gate agent.
Yeah, the flight
That's
attendant.
what it's called, right? And I talked to her. She was able to move some things around and get us, seated next to each other. He still wasn't happy, but I was able to shift his energy so much so that when we got off that plane at 9 o'clock, he was so excited. We were in New York for like 5 hours. We went to lunch. We went to a park. We went to the Met Stadium just to see the giant apple. And then we were back at the airport, back on the plane. We did all of this in one day. We had the most amazing date in New York. And we told everybody about it, and people were so inspired and so excited. And it was the best way to travel because you had nothing, right? Like, you didn't have to worry about packing. You just went on a plane, just like you were getting in a car. But we flew to New York, flew back, an amazing day. And here's how the universe supported us. He did not get one call for service that day because I was very clear that I was going to make it happen. And we still talk about it. That was one of the best dates we ever went on.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking to themselves right now, oh my gosh, I could never do that. You hear this all the time, Julie. I know you hear this all the time when people will say, oh my gosh, that you're so adventurous. I could never do that. I could never do that. And I know you always say to people like, why not? Why not? Like, what is the excuse? And you're on this mission now for really your entire career, and your business has been built on taking that overwhelm and stress off of people, because these entrepreneurs come out of corporate America, and what do? They create a job for themselves in their businesses. So they trap themselves in this business that's supposed to be this great freedom of time, freedom of choice. You get to spend more time with family, friends. And what happens? They spend zero time with family, friends. They're working more than they did in corporate America. They create this trapped job of a business that they create, and they have no fun, which means their time is getting shorter. Their health is bad. They're stressed out all the time. They're literally taking years off their life. And you're bound and determined to show people like, hey, you got to just get shit done. Like, you can't worry about what could happen, and you've got to stop. The sky's not going to fall. Like your husband, he was supported in no calls that day that you guys could go away. And how many times do you find that people just they're afraid? They're just this fear that doesn't exist, to start.
Well, it's people go to the what if, right? And they go to the what if of the negative. Like, oh my gosh, what if 20 people call, right? Or what if, I don't know, what if the plane crashes and whatever. It's like, but I go to the what if the positive. Like, what if, like it made a memory that I have for a lifetime. And I made a memory for the two of us. We had such amazing conversation on that plane because of the things that we talked about and the experience that we had.
Yeah.
And then the ripple effect that it had, right? So like I looked at, okay, what if this is possible? What if this does make a difference? And sometimes, okay, that's like the extreme. Like I think about probably people listening in or watching this are like, okay, well, what if you don't have a lot of money? I didn't have a lot of money at the time, right? Like when I did this, I looked at this and I didn't even have like the money to buy the plane ticket. And do you know what happened as I was looking at the plane tickets to make this happen? A credit card offer came up for the exact amount that I needed for those plane tickets.
Yeah.
And so I applied, I got it, and I was able to purchase the tickets. And then, of course, money came in because I was so clear of
Yeah.
what I wanted to do and made something happen. The money came in, I paid off the credit card. And again, it doesn't always have to look like it costs money, right?
Yeah.
Our people that are around us, they love us. How much do you think these googly eye glasses cost?
They're like 45 cents
I
maybe.
mean, they
But
cost so little.
yeah.
And yet, can you imagine if you were a parent, anybody who's a parent listening in right now,
Yeah.
and you got a pair of these and they're on Amazon? I should be selling them like branded, because like they're my, you know,
They're your signature.
my signature, right? But you go on Amazon, you buy yourself a pair of googly eye glasses. You walk in the door and you show up in these googly eye glasses, and you tell your kids, instead of going home and still working on the computer, hey kids, what are we going to do today?
Yeah.
Like, and they see you in these googly eye glasses, it puts you in a whole new light. And even if you don't have kids, go home to your spouse, show up in googly eye glasses and be like, hey honey, the night's yours. What are we going to do? Right? It's
Yeah.
those spontaneous, impromptu things that make all the difference, because people don't want things.
That's right.
They want our
They want memories.
memories.
That's right. So, Julie was just talking about how, for her, she works with people to really look at how they can infuse adventure fun. And she's planning this really big event in Arizona. But before we get to that, I'll just share a couple of things. During COVID and during the lockdown, Julie, she couldn't go do adventures at places because everything was non-essential. So she had videos of her walking her dogs in blow up dinosaur outfits, just walking down the street. Every holiday, she shows up in full costume. In fact, I believe, Julie, you shared with us that you have closetfuls of costumes, and you've even taken over part of your husband's AC, like, storage area where, at his office where you store a lot of these things. You talked about people saying that, what if this? And when I talk about buying auction homes and when I talk about buying land, every time I've ever brought it up and someone's asked me to speak a little bit more about investing in auction homes, the only thing I get back, I never get like, how long does the process take? What if you found to be the benefit? Always what I get is, what if that person doesn't pay their mortgage? And I always laugh and I say, well, you're the bank, you hold the note. So don't you think banks out there all day long are lending money and mortgages to people? And there's a risk always that this person doesn't pay, but what are the odds that you haven't paid your mortgage? So, I mean, it's drawn directly to the negative, and we can live our lives like that every day. We can wake up and choose to lose. We can wake up and choose to be stressed. We can wake up and choose to worry and worry and worry, or we could wake up and win every day in our life, whatever winning means for us. And that's just how I choose my everyday life. And most of that attitude has come from being in the vicinity of Julie Jones, right? I always say everyone needs Julie Jones in their life. And I'm being honest about that. So if you guys don't follow her, Julie, talk to us. Tell us about your event. Why are you doing it? Talk to us about how people contact you. Where do they find you? Tell us all that.
All right. Well, that's a lot, and I'm so excited because
These googly glasses are
I
hurting
know
my
these
ears.
googly eye glasses, right? I'm going to take them off because I'm like, all of a sudden, I think I'm seeing spots, right? So I'm so excited about my event. And the easiest way that you can find out more about the event or more about me is to go to my website, which is juliejones.biz, B-I-Z. I'm the one and only. And you go to the site and you can book a free 30-minute call with me. And let me tell you, we could talk about adventures. We could talk about whatever you want to talk about. And it's just talking. That's all it is. It's really about me supporting you in living your life out loud.
Yeah.
Like, there are just small changes sometimes that people can make to really be out there and to really enjoy everything that life has to offer. And so the event is going to be like no other. Like, if you think that this morning was fun, oh my gosh, it's going to be fun on steroids. And I promise you, you're still going to learn. You're going to walk away with huge takeaways that you can implement in your life. If you're a business owner, that you can implement in business, yet you're going to experience more. You're going to have fun. Yeah. It's going to be an adventure. And it's November 4th and 5th here in the Scottsdale area. You can find more information on my website or go directly to stopwaiting.biz, B-I-Z, stopwaiting.biz, because it's all about the living life. It's
Yeah.
like having fun, having more adventure, get off the hamster wheel. You know, we all know that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If you want different results, come hang out with me for 2 days and we are going to have a blast.
I will be there. So anyone who's looking forward to meeting me in person, because you've been listening to my podcast for years and you're like, what the heck? I would love to meet you in person. I'll be there. I'll be giving books away, signing autographs, and I know Julie will be. But here's the thing. If you can't take 2 days out of your year to go have some fun, play some games, do some adventures, learn, be in rooms with people that are laughing and having fun, I promise you, it will probably give you an extra 2 days of your life. You know, a good friend of mine and Julie's, her name's Cheryl Brewster. We were training last week and Cheryl said to us, God wants one thing for you when he delivered you to this earth, which is return with no regrets. Return with no regrets. And how many of us, you know, I just got a notice that a couple in my community church here just passed away and got hit by a car. Both of them did, and left all their kids. They were in a car together. They got hit, died instantly. And that's how short life is. You literally can get in the car and drive to Trader Joe's tomorrow and never come back. And I think that if we realize that every morning as we write our gratitudes and every day when we pray of how thankful we are for our lives, that for me starts the day of belief and gratitude and love and fun. And we can choose, like everyone, you get to choose. If I hear another person say to me, I'm so exhausted, I could never add another thing to my to-do list. I'm like, what are you doing during the day that's exhausting you so much? Because one, I think you must hate what you've created for your business if you feel that way, because just like Julie, we have this infectious energy because we choose every single day to have a good time. We choose every single day to enjoy what we do. We choose every single day to get shit done and not sit around and just mull over and oh my gosh, I have to get this done and procrastinate. Julie is excellent at working with individuals. If you are a procrastinator, you need a Julie Jones, because she will whip you into shape and show you how you can put things into practice every single day. And I'm sharing this as a testimonial for Julie Jones because every single client she's ever worked with has had transformation and breakthroughs and realization of, you're right, I am not spending the time in my life that I need to be spending and really living life. They're human doings is what you say, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We are put on this earth as human beings. So be in the
Yeah.
moment and stop doing. Nobody said we were labeled human doings, and it's the hamster wheel of life.
Yeah.
Like people find themselves on, or the merry-go-round, or you're just doing. And then life has passed you by. And you're absolutely right. Nobody regrets what they did do.
No,
They regret what they did.
that's right. You know, Julie, you'll be proud of me. My husband's high school buddy, so you long time ago, has a sailboat sitting in Granada and kept saying, you guys have, it's in Spain, right? You guys have to come see us. We're selling the sailboat November. You have until then. My husband and I sat down, looked at our calendars. We're like, we're making this happen. We got online, we booked tickets. We're going to Granada for a week. Do you think that either one of us had that available in our schedule?
Hell no. And I'm
No.
so excited for you because
No.
again, the memories the two of you are going to make and create.
I could have had every excuse in the book. No, I'm too busy. There's no way. Oh my gosh, look at everything I've scheduled. And then I just looked at this one week and I was like, I can move stuff around. I could figure it out. And why would I pass up this opportunity to be on a sailboat in Granada, in the waters, in Spain? Like, why would anyone pass that up when you have a friend that's begging you to come down and hang out on their sailboat? So again, it's because of you, Julie Jones. Thank you so much for your example to me to have more fun and just say, let's just do it. Whatever we have to do, let's figure it out. Let's just do it. And it's changed my life. I'm a happier person. My kids see that I'm a happier person, people around me. So I become now an example of fun and happiness. And that rubs off on people. You guys, that's how we spread kindness. And Julie Jones, you are the epitome and riding the horse with the flag of kindness in front of everyone. So from a police officer and former SWAT member to the most adventurous person I've ever met in my life, Julie Jones, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, and make room for me on that boat going to Spain.
That's so awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you of this one thing. You are the only you that has ever been. You are the only you that will ever be. You can wake up every day and have a shit day. Trust me, I could have that attitude every day and everyone's against me and life is happening to me. Or we can wake up every day and win and life is happening for you and you can get shit done. You can have adventures in your life for you to be able to experience what life has to bring you. I choose fun. I choose adventure. I choose to have people in my life that lift me, that excite me, that push me to be a better version of me. And that's what Julie Jones does for me. That's what she can do for you. And you've got to go to stopwaiting.biz, get your tickets, come out for this event. You guys are going to have so much fun November 4th and 5th. Thank you all for joining us today. And until next time, remember, be you and be strong. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.